Okay, here's a fairly straightforward trigonometry question. It's a right angle trigonometry question. Here's your right angle. In other words, we can be using SOHCAHTOA, or however you like to learn it. So, first step, label the sides. We've got our right angle here, so the hypotenuse will be opposite that one. There's your hypotenuse. Here's the marked angle that we're trying to find. So this is the opposite. The adjacent is over here, but we're not interested in that one. In other words, I'm looking for the ratio here which uses O and H, in other words, sine. Now I can write sine of my angle QRP, or we could call it X if you like, makes it a bit quicker. So sine X is equal to the opposite, 3.4, divided by the hypotenuse, 5.8. In other words, we're finding an angle here. We have to do sine to the minus 1, or the inverse sine of 3.4 over 5.8. And our calculator gives us 35.8882, blah, blah, blah. In other words, the angle that we're looking for, which I've called angle X, is to one decimal place, 35.9 degrees. Okay, if we now look at the next part of the question, this is just a very simple upper and lower bound question. PR, the length is 5.8 centimetres to two significant figures. Now in this case, two significant figures is exactly the same as to one decimal place. And because we're rounding to one decimal place, in other words, to the nearest tenth or to the nearest 0.1, when we're working out our upper and bounds, we have to add and subtract half of, so in other words, half of 0.1. Half of 0.1, easy enough to find, it's actually just 0.05. So to find our upper and lower bounds, we're going to add and subtract 0.05 centimetres. So the upper bound is going to be 5.8 plus 0.05, in other words, 5.85 centimetres. Don't worry about the fact that the actual length cannot really be 5.85 centimetres. We understand that the upper bound means that the length of PR can be anything up to but not including 5.85. The lower bound then is easy to understand. We're going to do 5.8 take away 0.05, let's just take away, in other words, 5.75 centimetres. Okay, when you're finding your upper and lower bounds, you're never going to have a recurring decimal as your upper bound, so don't fall into that.